Good afternoon, dear students. Today class we are going to discuss about economics second chapter, that is sectors of the Indian economy. Sectors of the Indian economy. See, we all of you knows that an economy an economy is best understood when we study its components or sectors. Getting these students. So, an economy is best understood when we study its components or sectors. See, sectoral classification can be done on the basis of several criteria. So, almost the same concept you are all studied even in 8th standard also, and as well as even in 9th standard also. So, by classifying, so the economists, they were followed some of the criteria about the sectoral classification, especially on the basis of different criteria. On the basis of different criteria. So, in this lesson, in the sectors of the Indian economy, so we are going to learn about primary, secondary, tertiary. And I think you all of you knows that, sir, we all of you already knows that we studied, yes, that's what I told. The same concept we studied even in 8th standard also, and as well as 9th standard also. So, the three types of classifications, so that we are going to discuss in this chapter. The three types of classifications. The three types of how the economists, so they were classified on the basis of different criteria. On the basis of different criteria, the economists, so they were classified the sectoral, in this way, especially the three types of classifications. The three types of classification. So, that we are learning in this chapter. So, that is about primary, secondary, and tertiary. Getting now? Primary, secondary, and tertiary. So, these are the three important classifications about the economic activities. So, dear students, so here we are studying organized, unorganized, public and private also. So, here few more: organized, unorganized, private and public. Are you getting this, students? So these are the main three types. That's it. But organized, unorganized, private and public sectors. See, here actually in this chapter there are the several examples and activities are given, and some of the activities suggested in this chapter also. For what purpose? There are many examples, there are many activities, especially for so understand how a person activity could be planned, how a person's activity could be planned, how to plan. So whether in primary, whether in secondary or tertiary, getting dear students. So by studying the different activities with the different examples, so we can plan. I mean plan a person's activity could be placed whether in the primary, secondary or tertiary, organized or unorganized, and public or private. Got it now? See, here there are the different things. So, of course, if you are observed the textbook, there are different pictures are given. The different people, those who are engaged in a different activities. For example, there we can observe the agricultural field and even the bricks making unit also, and even the shop also, and some other the different activities also. Then we can try to understand that the another important issue to be highlighted is about the problems caused by the changes in the roles of sector. That is also we are going to discuss in this chapter. See, here in this chapter, the example of unemployment as taken, and here what the government can do to solve it, how the government can help, how the government solve this problem and all those things, and also the declining importance of agriculture and growing importance of industry and services should be related, services should be related to the experience of the children by taking more examples that they may observe in their day-to-day life also. We can observe in our day-to-day life. So that's about, nowadays we all of knows that the people, those who are involved in agricultural field, in rural areas especially, so they are migrating to urban areas. And that shows that the declining importance of agriculture. Because the people, they do not have that much of interest to involve in agricultural activities. They do not have that much of interest in agricultural activities. And at the same time, they are migrating to the urban areas. And that shows that the growing importance of industry and service. That's because in urban area there are many opportunities to work in service field and as well as in industrial units. That shows that the growing importance of industries and service sectors, and here at the same time that shows that the declining importance of agriculture. So ವ್ಯವಸಾಯ ಅಥವಾ ಅಗ್ರಿಕಲ್ಚರ್ ಏನಾಗಿದೆ, ಸೊ ಅದು ಡೇ ಬೈ ಡೇ ಡಿಕ್ಲೈನ್ ಆಗ್ತದೆ. I mean the importance of that involving in those field. See, the information derived from the media could be used for, so how, so there are so many information they are taken in this lesson through the different sources. Getting dear students, so the GDP what we called, the data used in this chapter also that pertaining to the gross domestic product factor cost of industry of origin at 2004-5 price is taken from real-time handbook of statistics on Indian economy. So like that. So there were, so this actually in this chapter they are taken the sources understood, and based on that they are studied and that is prepared. Now let us discuss about the sectors of the economic activities. The sectors of the economic activities. The sectors of the economic activities. So already I told that so there were many things. Just you can observe your surrounding. The different people they are engaged in a different type of work. For example, some of they are producing goods, some of they are producing services, and some other actually activities happening around us every minute, even as we speak. See, how do we understand all these different activities? So there were many activities taken place around us. ಅಲ್ಲೊಂದಷ್ಟು ಜನ ಕೆಲಸ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ, ಇಲ್ಲೊಂದಷ್ಟು ಜನ ಈ ಕೆಲಸ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ, ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಇದನ್ನ ಏನೋ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ. So these are all different activity. For example, I am teaching you inside the classroom. This is also type of activity. So there the buses are moving, and there is the bank. The people they are working, the bank officials, and then even the customers, so on so. And there is maybe the insurance company. There are many they are working, and they are cab, transportation, and some are working, digging land, and so on so things. So like this, the different people they are engaging in a different kind of activities that we can observe even in our surrounding every day. So one way of doing this is group of them. So how can we can categorize it all these? So by using some of the important criteria. So by using some of the criterions, so we can classify these different groups or the sectors. Suppose ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಯಾರೋ ಜಮೀನಲ್ಲಿ ಕೆಲಸ ಮಾಡ್ತಿದ್ದಾರೆ, ಜಮೀನ್ ಕೆಲಸ ಅನ್ಕೋಣ. ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಯಾರೋ ಫ್ಯಾಕ್ಟರಿನಲ್ಲಿ ಕೆಲಸ ಮಾಡ್ತಿದ್ದಾರೆ ಅಂತ ಇಟ್ಕೋಣ. ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಯಾರೋ ಪೋಸ್ಟ್ ಮ್ಯಾನ್ ವರ್ಕ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ ಅಂತ ಇಟ್ಕೋಣ. ಸೊ ಇವೆಲ್ಲರನ್ನು ಸಹ ಒಂದಷ್ಟು ಕ್ರೈಟೀರಿಯನ್ಗಳನ್ನು ಬಳಸಿ ನಾವು ಅವ್ರನ್ನ ಡಿಫರೆಂಟ್ ಸೆಕ್ಟರ್ಸ್ ಅಂತೇಳಿ ನಾವು ಅವ್ರನ್ನ ಕೆಟಗರೈಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೋದು. Are getting dear students? So we can categorize it by using some of the basic criterion. So those work we can categorize it under the different sectors. So there are many activities that are undertaken by directly using natural resources. So like that there are many activities are there. So where we are undertaking directly using the natural resources. For example, the cultivation of cotton. So the cultivation of the cultivation of cotton. See, it takes place within a crop season. It takes place within a crop season. For the growth of the cotton plant, we depend mainly but not entirely. So how can we? So on natural factors like, so cotton ಬೆಳಿಬೇಕಿದೆ ಈಗ, of course land ಬೇಕು. Cultivation of cotton ಮಾಡಬೇಕು ಅಂದ್ರೆ first it is required the suitable land, suitable soil. So ಅದರ ಜೊತೆಗೆ ಏನು ಬೇಕು ಮಕ್ಕಳ, the some of the other natural factors such as rainfall, sunshine and climate. ಹತ್ತಿ ಬೀಜ ಇದೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಸಾಲಂಗಿಲ್ಲ ಮಕ್ಕಳ, ಅಥವಾ ಒಂದಷ್ಟು ಜಮೀನ್ ಇದೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಸಾಗಂಗಿಲ್ಲ. Whether that is all some of the other natural factors. Rainfall sufficient, ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಎಷ್ಟು ಬೇಕಷ್ಟು, sunshine ಬೇಕು, climate ಹೊಂದಿಕೆ ಆಗಬೇಕು. See, the product of this activity, cotton, is a natural product. Cotton is not preparing in an industrial unit. अथवा it is not actually made by man. So it is one of the natural activity. So the production of the cotton, it is one of the natural activity. So similarly, in the case of an activity like dairy, we are dependent on the biological process of the animals and as well as the availability of the fodder also. Understood now? So just you can imagine the production of cotton, it is one of the natural activity. And similarly, suppose if you are taken in the case of an dairy activity, an activity like dairy, so the dairy, so there we are dependent on the biological process. Understood? Whatever it may be, whether the buffalo, whether the cow. So that is completely depend upon the biological process of the animal, and even it is dependent on the availability of fodder also. Sufficient fodder sigta idea. So here the what is the product here? The milk. Understood now? See here the milk also natural product. Similarly, minerals and ores. Minerals and ores. So the minerals and ores are also natural products. The minerals and ores also natural products. So when we produce a good by exploiting natural resources, so it is an activity of the primary sector. Getting dear students? So when we produce a good, by exploiting natural resources, it is an activity of which sector? No, it is an activity of primary sector. Got it, dear students? So why primary? Why we are actually mentioning this is actually primary sector? So this is because it forms the base for all other products that we subsequently make. So why we are calling this as a primary, no, or primary sector, no. So actually this is because it forms the base for all other products that we subsequently make. For example, by using milk we can make the different milk products. But here which one is the primary one? The milk is essential. So in cotton, by using cotton, so we can do so and so things. We can prepare, we can make so and so things. But what is your primary one? What is the basic required one? That is cotton. So because of that reason, so these kind of activities are considered as a primary sector. Are you getting, dear students? Once again I would like to repeat. When we produce a good by exploiting natural resources, it is an activity of the primary sector. Why? Because so it forms the base for all other producers of products that we subsequently make. Since most of the natural products we get off from agriculture, dairy, fishing, forestry. Getting now? So there's so many things we are getting from actually, especially like this only. So since the most of the natural products we get are from agriculture and dairy and fishing, okay, and forestry. Getting dear students, forestry. See, all these agriculture, dairy, fishing, forestry, so these are all actually the natural part. And this sector is also called as agriculture and related sector. I mean the primary sector. So because of this all reason, it is also called as agriculture and related sector. Agriculture and related sector. See, these are all agriculture related only. These are agriculture, dairy, fishing, forestry, and so on. So that's what, dear students, the primary sector is also called as. The primary sector, it is also called as agriculture and related sector. Got it, dear students? I hope you all have understood about this. So, actually, by using some of the important criteria, so we are classified the economic activities into three, such as primary, secondary, tertiary, and also then we can see organized and unorganized, private and public sector also. So, in the sectors of the economic activities, especially the basic, which are naturally, for example, so when we produce a good by exploiting natural resources, so that activity is used to called as a primary activity or primary sector. So, such as agriculture, dairy, fishing, forestry. So, these are all considered as a primary sector or primary activities. And also this primary sector or primary activities are called as agriculture and related sector. Agriculture and related sector. The next class we are going to discuss about the secondary sector. Okay, thank you. Have a nice day.